walk in your truth.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, King of endless glory. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, King of endless glory. I take no pleasure in the death of wicked men, says the Lord, but rather in his conversion that he may live. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, King of endless glory.
Decade to be executed via firing. A South Carolina man is set to become the first person in more than a decade to be executed via firing squad in the United States Friday. Lawyers representing 67-year-old Brad Sigmon attempted to delay his execution, but were denied by the state Supreme Court Wednesday. Sigmon was convicted in the 2001 murders of his ex-girlfriend's parents. CBS News' Anna Schechter has more on this. Anna?
Hi, Lindsay. Well, if carried out tomorrow evening, Sigmon's firing squad execution will be the first in the United States in almost 15 years. Because he's in South Carolina, Sigmon had a choice of which method to be put to death. The default is the electric chair in the state, but Sigmon had the option to choose between that, lethal injection, or firing squad. I spoke with his lawyer earlier today, who explained to me that given the botched legal injections in the state recently, including 3 men whom Sigmon considered to be brothers, it took them more than 20 minutes to die. That, coupled with the realities of the burning and mutilation that can come from the electric chair, Sigmon chose the firing squad. Let's take a listen to what his lawyer had to say to me earlier today.
Of what's awaiting him on Friday. I mean, he knows what the firing squad will do to his body. He knows it's going to break his bones. He knows it's going to pulverize his organs. And it's a measure of how impossible the choice was here, because of all the information about lethal injection that was concealed, that he's chosen this.
When he is referring to that concealed information, what he's talking about is the inability to get details about exactly when and how the lethal poison was made and stored. The firing squad execution scheduled for Friday at 6 p.m. would be the first in South Carolina in modern history and the 4th in the U.S. since 1977. The 3 previous firing squad executions took place in Utah, the last one happening in 2010. Idaho, Mississippi, and Oklahoma also have legalized firing squads. South Carolina's Governor Henry McMaster has the sole authority to grant clemency and stop the execution tomorrow. But no South Carolina governor has granted clemency to a death row prisoner since the Supreme Court allowed states to resume the death penalty in 1976. Back to you, Lindsay.
Anna Schechter, thank you.
Once you try a comfort hoodie, you can't go back to regular hoodies. They're slightly weighted, super oversized. It's that perfect fit that makes you feel like you're wrapped in a blanket, but you get to look like you have your life together at the same exact time. And when I tell you they have every color you could think of, from neutrals, vibrant colors, they have zip-ups, you guys, if that's more your vibe. They even have dog hoodies that you can match with your dogs. They have the sweatpants with the cuffs, but also the sweatpants with the wide leg. Just look at how much higher quality and thicker these are than your average sweatpant. I also love that this brand supports mental health. Once you try one on, you will literally never want to take it off. It will be your road trip hoodie, your airport hoodie, your bonfire hoodie, your coffee shop hoodie, I'm telling you. And a moment for this hood, like, it's so big and flattering. The inside feels like heaven on your skin. The waistbands are so thick and stretchy without any hard wiring in here, so they're never digging into your stomach. If you don't like the ones with the logo on it, don't worry. They have the standard collection that has no logos. These things have blown up on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Like, I see a comfort hoodie every time I leave my house. Even the big celebs are wearing them right now, which is why they're always sold out. So if you want to make sure you get your size, I would not wait. I am 5'2", and I'm wearing a medium in this hoodie, and then I'm wearing a small in these sweatpants.
South Carolina carried out the first firing squad execution in the U.S. in 15 years. In 2001, Brad Sigmon repeatedly beat his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat until they died. A doctor pronounced Sigmon dead at 6:08 last night, 3 minutes after sharpshooters fired their rifles at the prisoner, who had a target over his heart and a hood over his head. Meg Oliver was at the prison in Columbia.
In this room, behind a century-old electric chair, 67-year-old Brad Sigmon was strapped down here. Hidden behind a wall 15 feet away, 3 corrections employees fired live rounds at him through a small rectangular hole, a method he chose instead of lethal injection or the electric chair. New bulletproof glass was installed to shield witnesses.
Do you expect more states will follow suit?
No.
Why not?
This was a political game that the Republicans in our legislature fell for. When they voted for that, nobody really wanted this.
Why not?
It wasn't necessary because we had 2 methods of execution. We had the electric chair and lethal injection.
John Osmond is the former director of the South Carolina Department of Corrections, where he oversaw 14 executions. While lethal injection remains the primary method in most states, drug shortages and botched executions have led to a revival of older methods. Sigmon's attorney, Bo King.
Why would your client choose to die this way?
Brad had repeatedly asked for the most basic facts about South Carolina's lethal injection drugs. He's like, is it expired? Have the drugs been diluted? Have the drugs spoiled? And he was repeatedly refused that information.
So he chose a firing squad?
He chose the firing squad.
Sigmon was sentenced to death for killing his ex-girlfriend's parents, David and Gladys Lark, in 2001, beating them with a baseball bat, a crime he admitted to.
How would you describe this form of execution?
Death may be difficult for anybody, but as far as ending a human life quickly, I think this is probably about as good as you can get.
23 states currently have the death penalty. 5 allow the use of a firing squad.
This was an impossible choice, but between the prospect of dying strapped to a gurney over 20 minutes, drowning in the blood and fluid in your own lungs, as opposed to the firing squad, he made the only choice that he could.
The state of South Carolina maintains this is not cruel and unusual punishment because they let the inmate decide among the 3 options: lethal injection, the electric chair, and now a firing squad. If they don't make a choice, the default is the electric chair. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Meg Oliver, Columbia, South Carolina.